Before machines existed, before screens began to glow and engines began to roar, there was a world made only by hands, hearts, and time. It was a slower world, a quieter world, where every object, every structure, and every tool came from human imagination and effort. Imagine waking up thousands of years ago, when the first light of dawn touched the earth and the only alarm was the song of birds. There were no machines waiting to serve you, no buttons to press, and no electricity to guide your way. Everything around you was born from patience and skill. People shaped the world with their bare hands and simple tools, creating everything they needed to live, survive, and dream. In that ancient world, the story of humanity began not with computers or factories, but with curiosity. Early humans learned to shape stones into tools, to strike them together until a spark was born, and with that spark came fire, the first miracle of human invention. They learned that their hands could transform what nature gave them. From rocks came weapons to hunt. From branches came shelters to protect their families. Every movement, every gesture was filled with meaning, because every act of creation was personal and alive. When humans began to build, they built with passion and precision. There were no cranes or machines to lift heavy stones, yet they raised monuments that still stand today. The pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Greece, the walls of Mesopotamia, all created by hand. Imagine thousands of workers pulling ropes, carrying stones, and aligning every block with the sun and stars. Their minds calculated without calculators. Their eyes measured without rulers. Every building told a story of patience and strength. In every village, people lived by the rhythm of creation. Women spun wool and wove fabrics using simple looms. Men carved wood, forged metal, and shaped clay. Every piece of pottery, every woven cloth, every wooden spoon was unique, because it came from someone's heart. To make a single jar, one needed to knead the clay, shape it slowly, and then bake it in fire. That jar could last for years, even generations. It was not just an object. It was a symbol of time, care, and love. Metalworkers stood near blazing fires, listening to the song of iron as they hammered it into shape. Without modern thermometers, they knew by color when the metal was ready. A dull red meant wait, a bright orange meant strike, and a glowing white meant it was perfect. The rhythm of hammer against anvil echoed through ancient towns like music. It was the heartbeat of civilization. These blacksmiths made swords, farming tools, and jewelry, all with the same hands that fed their families. Everywhere, life was handmade. If someone wanted bread, they had to grind the grain with stones, mix it with water, and bake it on hot surfaces. If they wanted clothes, they had to grow plants or raise animals, collect fibers, spin them into thread, and weave them into garments. There was no factory line, only the slow, sacred rhythm of labor. People valued what they made because they knew the effort behind every creation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was taken for granted. Ancient people also understood nature deeply. They could predict the rain by the color of the sky, the wind by the shape of the clouds, and the seasons by the stars. Farmers planted seeds according to the moon's cycle. Sailors crossed oceans using only the sun and stars to guide them. Without machines, they found wisdom in the earth and sky. Their knowledge was not written in codes or stored in computers. It was passed through stories, songs, and memories. Artists and thinkers of that time left behind miracles of the human spirit. Sculptors shaped stone into faces so real that thousands of years later, they still speak to us. Painters used colors made from crushed minerals and plants to decorate walls and tombs. Musicians carved flutes from bones and made melodies that touch the soul. Philosophers spoke under the open sky, sharing ideas that still shape the way we think today. They had no microphones, no internet, no social media, yet their words traveled through generations, carried by memory and respect. In that world, time was slow and sacred. To build a home took months, to carve a statue took years, and to create a legacy took a lifetime. But everything had meaning. People worked with intention. They didn't just make things, they made them last. Their hands held the knowledge of generations, passed from father to son, mother to daughter. Each gesture was a bridge between past and future. When the Industrial Revolution came, everything changed. Machines took over the work of hands. Speed replaced patience. Quantity replaced quality. The hum of gears drowned the silence of nature. People gained comfort, but lost connection. What was once made with love and attention became fast, cheap, and forgettable. The world began to move faster, but perhaps it also began to feel emptier. And yet, the spirit of the old world still lives within us. Every time someone bakes bread at home, paints a picture, carves wood, or grows a garden, that ancient fire burns again. It reminds us that human hands are capable of creating wonders, not just through technology, but through care, time, and imagination. The ancient people may not have had electricity or machines, but they had something even greater. Creativity born from survival, wisdom born from nature, and unity born from the need to create together. When you hold a handmade object, a piece of pottery, a woven basket, or carved sculpture, you hold more than just an item. You hold the echo of history. You hold the story of someone who lived, dreamed, and worked with purpose. That's what makes the world before technology so powerful. It wasn't a world of convenience, but a world of connection. People didn't just exist in nature, they belonged to it. Before the modern age, everything came from the earth. The wood of trees, the clay of rivers, the wool of sheep, the stone of mountains. Every material carried a story, and every person knew its value. A single tool could take weeks to make, but it could last a lifetime. A single piece of clothing could take months to weave, but it would be cherished for years. People didn't measure worth by speed or price, they measured it by effort and heart. That world is gone now, replaced by machines and automation, but its memory remains in our DNA. We are still creators, still dreamers, still builders at heart. Technology has changed our tools, but it hasn't changed our essence. Deep down, we still long to make something with our hands, something real, something lasting, something human. So next time you see something handmade, take a moment to appreciate it. Think about the countless generations that came before you, people who built cities, crafted art, and shaped history with nothing but patience and strength. Remember that everything you see today, every building, every machine, every idea, stands on the foundation they laid. They gave us more than inventions. They gave us the meaning of creation itself. The world before technology was not empty or primitive. It was full of life, love, struggle, and meaning. It was a world where every creation carried a heartbeat, and every object told a story. A world where hands, not machines, shape the destiny of mankind. And though time moves forward, and we live in the age of speed and screens, the hands that built the past still guide us. Because the power to create, the power to shape and imagine, was never in the tools. It was always in us.